Pombe Magufuli has called upon the police force to take into consideration 4 major factors. These factors include ensuring that the police force properly oversees elections, also ensuring that the general elections wrap up under a state of peace and calm reigning in the country. President Magufuli made those remarks during the graduation ceremony of officers and an inspection of police at the Police Academy in Dar es Salaam. During the graduation ceremony, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Simon Siro, told President Magufuli that the level of crime in the country has reduced by a great extent.
Kwa hiyo niwaombe jeshi la polisi, kasimamieni nidhamu, kasimamieni maadili.
I urge the police force to be disciplined and of high moral standards and carry out your duties with diligence so as to make sure we finish the elections in unity and harmony. I've also stressed on the importance of the police in maintaining peace and taking care of our resources. I'm happy to see some business personality here today. This is a clear indication that you recognize the need of having the police force presence in our country.
Anatambua umuhimu wa kuwa na polisi pamoja.
Lakini Mheshimiwa Rais, niseme machache kuhusu hali ya uhalifu nchini.
Honorable President, I would like to speak about the state of peace and security in our country. Generally, peace and security is stable because incidences have reduced significantly. This is because we are well prepared and are working with local communities to prevent and combat crime.
Tunashirikisha wananchi katika kuzuia na kupambana na uhalifu. Mheshimiwa Rais, licha ya kutoa mafunzo ya upandishaji vyeo,
in addition to giving training on staff promotion, it also gives training in diploma in police science and law certificate. The aim of training in certificate in law is to have as many officers who have an understanding, especially in the course of carrying out their duties.
Kesi mbalimbali ambazo zimeripotiwa katika vituo vya polisi.
The National Chairman of Chadema, Freeman Mbowe, and the MP for Tarime Urban, Esther Matiko, will continue to remain in remained custody after the Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court adjourned their case in which the 2 leaders and their 6 fellow senior officials of Chadema are being charged with incitement to January 3rd, 2019. The prosecutor, Faraja Mangula, claimed that the lawyers for the defendants, who are Peter Kibatala and Sheikh Mfinanga, had an emergency, and as a result they are requesting the court to adjourn the case to January 4th next year. Responding to that argument, the attorney Simon claimed that they are leaving it up to the court to plan for any new date which may see fit on which to resume the case. Magistrate Mashauri adjourned the case to January 3rd next year. Now, following those explanations, Mbowe and Matiko wished all their followers happy holidays, as they firmly believe that it is impossible for them to be released at this stage. The other co-accused senior members of Chadema are the ones who are present in court, and these are the MP for Iringa Urban, Peter Msigwa, the MP for Kibamba, John Mnyika, and the Secretary of Chadema, Dr. Vincent Mashinji, the MP for Bunda, Esther Bulaya, and the Secretary of Chadema in Zanzibar, Salum Mwalimu. Now, a stroke of 379 workers of Mpemba Isongole Tarmac Road construction in Songwe region has ended after the engineer of the project paid 86 million shillings, which is the 17-month salary arrears, and all workers have resumed their duties after halting for 2 weeks. Now, the spokesperson of the construction company from China, Geoengineering Company, CGEC, Engineer Juma Msone, confirmed that the 86 million shillings were paid to all employees who were owed their salaries, and said that apart from the payments, the company has made many improvements to remove any impediments that may cause delays with the project.
The contractor yesterday paid 86 million shillings towards overdue salaries. This amount was paid into NMB Bank And what is going on now is to credit each staff account.
Kazi zitaendelea vizuri na
work will go on smoothly. All our grievances have been resolved.
Jambo hili lisitokee tena.
This must not happen again. And anyone who will be the cause of another strike, then the government is ready to sack them and employ others, and those who will be found guilty, legal measures could be taken against them, because it is not the government's intention to delay development projects.
Pia wataweza kuchukuliwa hatua.
The gutter hooks for the Nazi irrigation scheme at Kimani River, which deposits its water in River Ruaha in Barali district, have been demolished under strict supervision of the police due to the claims that users of the scheme, which are 5,000 small-scale farmers, have no legal permit to use the water from the river.
Hakuna namna zaidi ya kulibomoa ili mto uendelee kuwa hai.
There is no other way around. To demolish it is to allow the river to thrive. Laws are there. So we must go back and look at this again, so the people who use water from this river can do so legally. But at the moment, this is against the law.
Bodi ya maji ya bonde la Rufiji ndio yenye mamlaka.
The Rufiji River Board has the power by law on the use of the water. A lot of the water is used for irrigation and some are using it illegally.
The Road Safety Traffic Police in Mwanza region, along with officers from the Road Safety Headquarters, have conducted a surprise inspection exercise to determine if the buses meet transport requirements, as well as to provide road safety education to drivers and passengers. Now, the exercise, which began at dawn, was led by Chief Officer of National Road Safety Force, ACP Theopista Malia.
Kuyapita magari mengine maeneo ambayo hayaruhusiwi.
Overtaking in areas that are dangerous or overspeeding are two major causes of road accidents in the country. So if any drivers are present here, please take what we are saying seriously. If you are caught, then know that your license will be revoked.
Ukiendesha gari kwa zaidi ya masaa 8.
If you drive for over 8 hours, you get tired and then you are no longer able to control the vehicle. That's why there is a need for 2 drivers. We're going to be taking this seriously. For us to stick to the timetable, I ask that these inspections on the vehicles take place a day before we are due to start the journey.
The Deputy Minister for Health, Community Development, Gender, the Elderly and Children, Dr. Faustin Ndungulile, has said that the rate at which incidents of gender-based violence are increasing in another new major threat, which is endangering the welfare and development of the country. Dr. Ndungulile pointed out that longer that Tanzanians continue to look the other way, such incidents will continue to rise, as available evidence shows that the incidents of gender-based violence have been raising every year. Now, the Deputy Minister for Health made those remarks in Dar es Salaam a short time after launching the plans of the upcoming 3 years of the Association of Women Doctors of Tanzania, MEWATA.
Matukio ya watoa huduma afya kuharibu ushahidi.
Recently, we had cases of health personnel tampering with evidence. Where there has been a rape, doctors are the ones who give evidence in court to confirm the incident. So some decided not to be ethical just because they are unwilling to stand in court. So let me remind you of your responsibility.
Sasa nimewakumbusha wajibu huo.
Kwa hiyo kipaumbele chetu cha kwanza kimeenda kwenye afya ya kina mama.
Our first priority is to maternal health and cancer in women, including breast and cervical cancer, We want to do early diagnosis to save lives.
Kina mama mapema. Sasa kwa ujumla ukiangalia strategic plan ambayo imezinduliwa leo.
The strategic plan launched today is not far from government's agenda of taking medical care to people in rural areas and marginalized groups. This will help reduce maternal deaths and infants as well as the rest of the population.
Wakiwemo kina baba.
Graphite minerals that are used to make car parts as well as produce energy used to operate vehicles instead of using oil have been discovered in Handeni, Tanga region. Following the discovery, investors have gone to Kwamsisi village where the minerals were discovered and began investing in mining the rare mineral. Now, Handeni District Commissioner Godwin Gondwe has directed investors to go to the district and invest especially in the mining sector, as Handeni is one of the districts with a large amount of minerals.
Madini ambayo tunazalisha ni madini aina ya kinywe.
This is graphite, which can be used as an alternative source of energy. When used to make car battery, they increase the capacity of the battery to store electricity.
Kwamba Handeni na madini ya kutosha.
Handeni has a lot of minerals, those used in industries and gold. There is a large deposit and we welcome you to come and invest here.
Karibisha Handeni. Na ofisi za madini zipo hapa Handeni.
Uwezo na ukubwa mgodi tulionao hapa.
The mine has a large capacity to produce 700 tons per day, which is a lot of revenue for the government for development projects of our country.
Over 1,000 residents of Mnuguna Street, Minga Ward, Singida Municipal are living in fear of losing their homes following heavy rains that caused the collapse of 6 houses, destroyed infrastructure and caused cars to sink into water. Now, the residents blamed Singida District Government for failing to place large bridges as well as a poor drainage system.
I asked President Magufuli to look into this. We have a member of parliament, but he doesn't come to see us when we have problems. The ward councillor is nowhere to be seen. We want them to come now and not when the campaign begins. When the roof came off, it cut trees. So we were lucky that it did not fall on us. The rains have caused a lot of damage. Many houses were flooded. 6 have been destroyed.
Now, the job of building classrooms in Arusha region is now taking place day and night with the aim of enabling thousands of students who pass to start their studies by January 2019. The move, which is being largely supported by parents. Arusha Education Officer Gift Kiando say that they are continuing to take other measures that will enable students to start their studies on time.
While we look for the funds to build more classes, students will be forced to have double sessions. Our hope is that by February 2019, all students would have started Form 1. There are cases where 5 homesteads share one toilet, used by public servants in charge of modeling tomorrow's generation. We must work with local residents to construct more toilets. Revenue means more classrooms, health centers, teachers' offices, and washroom facilities.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows next. Welcome back, and in international news. The Ministry of Education in Kenya has announced the results of the Form 4 KCSE exams. 315 students received A's this year in comparison to only 142 last year.
Female candidates performed better than male candidates in art and design and metalwork. The top candidates in the 2018 KCSE exam. Wonderful to have a female, the top candidates in the 2018 KCSE examination.
AFP news agency reports that 6 people were killed on Thursday when a plane hired by the Democratic Republic of Congo's Electoral Commission crashed near the airport in the capital, Kinshasa. The Electoral Commission said that no election materials were destroyed in the crash, and the pilot and crew had safely delivered the cargo to Shikapa in the center of the country and were on their way returning back to Kinshasa when the crash happened. All 5 crew members and 1 passenger died in the crash. Now moving on, at least 13 miners have been killed and 10 more injured in a methane explosion at Czech coal mine. Most of the victims were Polish miners provided by an agency. The state-run Oak mining company said Thursday's blast happened 800 meters below the ground at the CSM hard coal mine near the eastern town of Kawina, close to the Polish border. And that is the end of international news. Business news follows next after the break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news tonight. The governments of Uganda and Tanzania have signed an agreement aimed at reducing impediments in transporting harvests, which include maize, beans and rice, between the 2 countries through Mutukula in Misenyi District, Kagera region, such as bureaucracy in getting transport permits for the harvests.
Kulikuwa na tatizo la uingizaji wa nafaka kupitia njia za panya.
There was a problem of grain entering the country via illegal routes. So what we decided to do was to look at what can be done so traders can operate legally. I'm pleased that we are strengthening trade between Uganda and Tanzania.
The Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Omari Mgumba, has assured maize farmers in Ruvuma region that after the government seeking markets in Kenya, DRC, Sudan, Malawi and South Sudan, the price of the harvest has risen this season from 150 shillings per kilo to 350 shillings per 1 kilogram.
Ya mazao ya wakulima wetu hususani mahindi.
The response has been good. And as you've witnessed, the price is starting to rise. The price was at 150 in rural and 200 in urban areas. Our experts have informed me that the price is now as high as 450.
Mkoa tumelenga kulima jumla ya hekta.
We're planning to cultivate 621,306 hectares for food and trade estimated to bring in 1,666,071 tons.
The National Microfinance Bank (NMB) has conducted its first draw for the Mastabata promotion and urged bank clients to make payments using a MasterCard so as to avoid working with cash, as it is dangerous.
A MasterCard holder will now be able to pay for goods and services through a POS machine, but also he can use his card to buy goods online.
And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows next after the break.
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
What's up? My name is Céline Garnier.
I'm John Barnes from Liverpool Football Club. The hip, hop, a hip it, the hip it, the hip, hip hop. You don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear?
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sport Gazette.
And you're watching Sports Gazette
with Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
And in sports news, the Minister of Information, Culture, Arts and Sports, Dr. Harrison Mwakembe, is happy with the process of CAF in planning the fixtures for the groups that will participate in the 2019 Under-17 AFCON Cup, which will be hosted by Tanzania.
We're hoping for a good tournament. We urge Tanzanians to come to the National Stadium and other venues where various matches will be taking place, so we can give moral support to our players. Something tells me that we're going to retain the cup.
3
teams out of the 7 were supposed to be in the same group with us. Angola, Uganda and Nigeria was expected. Between now and the tournament, will determine whether we are going to win. Our players are well prepared to go and win. They did well in Sekafa and during the qualifying games, so we have high expectations.
Mtibwa Sugar will play against KCCA from Uganda tomorrow in a Confederations Cup rematch, with their coach Zuberi Katwila forced to change technical tactics, especially in the striker position, as to change the previous defeat of 3-0 when they played in Uganda last week.
So we can increase our chances of winning.
Now, judges from the neighboring countries, Kenya and Uganda, are expected to manage a boxing match that will bring together experienced boxers Francis Cheka and Abdallah Pazi on December 26th of this year to vie for the WBF title.
It is disheartening that boxing rules are the same across the world. If you're beaten by a Tanzanian boxer, then you'll be bet by a Mexican too, or Puerto Rican. What is important is to stick by what your coach has trained you on. I urge everyone to come for this game because it's going to be a good one.
Tie breaks will be played in the final set at the Australian Open for the first time in January, after organizers decided to move away from the existing practice of advantage final sets. And that is the end of our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. Thank you for watching and good night.